Alright guys, in this video we're going to look at the 4 problems that were at the end of part 1 of the notes on the 45-45-90 triangle. So in the video I talked about a 3-step process. So step 1 is to label the sides of your triangle with the opposite sides and the opposite sides values that we were looking at here. So a 45-45-90 triangle, the 45-degree angle, the opposite sides will be a value of x, and this is the other 45-degree angle, and then this opposite side would be x root 2. So that's step 1. Step 2, we're going to take the side that we know and we're going to set it equal to the value of our special right triangle. So in this case, it's just x equals 6. That's it. Simple as that. Now the three sides of the triangle are marked x, x, and x root 2. So one thing I like to do to organize this is I'm going to now just substitute in the value that I know for x. So it's 6 root 2, and just like that, we now know the three sides of this particular triangle. In the second problem, we're going to do the same steps again. So I'm going to mark x, x, and x root 2. Once again, we're going to take the 2 that we do know. So the one side is 3 root 2, and we're going to set it equal to x root 2. We're going to solve for x, because finding x here is the most important thing that's going to allow us to be able to solve for the missing sides. In this example, what you might notice is the square root of 2's will actually cancel each other out since we're dividing by them. What that means is I just lost the problem. There it is, sorry. 3 equals x. Simple as that. So now that we have that, let's identify our x, and our x root 2 side. So in this case, it's going to be 3. It's going to be 3, and then no surprise, because what we have here, it's going to be 3 root 2 when I substitute that in. So there are the three sides for number 2. Moving into number 3, we have our hypotenuse this time marked as 6. Still going to do the same process though. X, x, x root 2. We're now going to set the 6 equal to the x root 2, and this is definitely going to be one of the more challenging types of problems that you're going to encounter, is when the hypotenuse is a whole number like this. So we're going to divide both sides by the square root of 2. Those square root of 2's on the left are going to cancel, and we get x equals 6 over root 2. As mentioned in the lesson video and also mentioned in our review of simplifying radicals, we know that we have a radical in the denominator. We are going to rationalize that denominator. So we're going to multiply top and bottom by the square root of 2. You can see why that's starting to happen in some of these problems, because 6 over root 2 is going to end up becoming something simpler when we finish this process. So I get 6 root 2 over regular 2. And since 6 and 2 simplify, they simplify to 3 root 2. So that's the point of rationalizing. 6 over root 2 is a more complicated version, where 3 root 2 is a lot simpler. So to write my final answer, I like to write x, x, x root 2. I'll draw arrows to identify the three sides now. So since x is equal to 3 root 2, that's what my legs are going to be. And my hypotenuse, now we already know it's 6. We'll see in the next example how there's something different we're going to have to do in order to find that solution. So those are my answers for number 3. Last one for the YouTrys. Number 4, if we label the sides appropriately here, x, x, and x root 2. Remember, even if the triangle is turned or looks different, the x root 2 side should always be opposite from the 90-degree angle. Okay? Now, in this situation, we have 4 root 2 equal to x. So that is basically what we needed. So if I label what my sides are going to be now, the first two are pretty straightforward. It's 4 root 2, 4 root 2. But for this last one, just want to remind you here, since x is equal to 4 root 2, I'm going to fill in the 4 root 2 there, but since it's x root 2, we're going to have to write square root of 2 after it. So let's go ahead and take our x value here of 4 root 2, and let's write that there. What you'll see is there's a double root 2. So we're going to have to multiply these two together. Root 2 times root 2 is going to be the number 2, because it's square root of 4, which is 2. So what we are left with here is 4 times 2, which is going to give me a final answer of 8. So our final answer here, we'll kind of do like a big circle like this. This is going to be our final answer. 4 root 2, 4 root 2, and 8 are the three sides of the triangle. So I hope these explanations have helped. I hope the examples from the videos have also helped you as well to see how we can solve for missing sides of a 45, 45, 90 triangle.